How's it going, guys? Welcome back to the Q&A. Today we're joined with Mod Matt K.
Hello.
Mod Wolf.
Hello.
Mod Ed.
Hello.
Mod West.
Hello.
Mod Sween.
Hello.
And myself, Mod Archie. We've also got Mod Maz gathering questions from the chat. And we have a very exciting Crack the Clue hint to come out at some point during the stream. I think that Matt said he was going to whisper it very quietly, so turn your volume to max throughout the entire stream. And maybe you'll hear it.
Maybe I should.
All right, moving forward, we've also got a kind of exciting sneak peek of some Fossil Island content.
Yep, just a little bit. Son of some monsters.
And then we have a few popular suggestions from the community this week, a whole bunch in here. Let's get through it. First question, Poll says, can you make the RuneScape map closable with the escape key?
We don't have any developers on here to answer that, do
That's
we?
a great question.
This came up before, and
Yeah.
it requires engine work, but I think they are looking into it, so maybe soon.
Yeah, it's a different kind of interface.
Yeah.
That we can't currently close with the escape key, so it doesn't need engine work.
What do you mean we have no devs here?
Oh, I got mouse. Sorry,
We don't
mouse.
have Maz.
Hello.
I'm in trouble now.
Yeah, what they said, engine work.
It'll be good though, so I'm very keen.
This is going to show just how lost we are without Ash.
No,
This
we've
is
got
gonna be
this.
very
We've got
awkward.
this. Don't tell them that.
I don't know why I'm asking this. It was the highest upvoted question this week. Skeleton says, can we attach a rock hammer to our Slayer helmet and headbutt gargoyles?
Yes.
Please, no.
No, we're
Please,
doing it.
please,
The
It's
community
happening.
wants it.
Yeah. Well, why don't we stick it to the feet and then you can.
That's a much cooler idea.
Yeah, I prefer that.
We can actually do it, but yeah.
Could we make okay? So it sounds a bit bizarre, okay, but could we have a special Slayer weapon, which, like the helmet, gives you bonuses when fighting Slayer stuff, but you could get things such as the rock hammer and the leaf-bladed sword and other stuff, combine them all together into one uber
Like a Slayer
Slayer weapon. So it's almost, maybe a glove or something. You could put one glove and you could just punch it to death. And just give you
there was
bonuses about it.
There were
Sort
gloves
of thing.
in like, what, 2011 or something. Super strong gloves. You could punch
Oh, yeah,
people.
Oh, Goliaths.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember those.
The answer's no anyway. So there you go.
All right.
Oh,
All right.
All right, Larsty says, can we add a couple more rooftop courses between levels 40 to 90 so it wouldn't be that daunting to stay and train 5 million experience in Slayer's Village? A lot of support this week. Essentially, there are obviously other courses between 40 and 90, but they're not as efficient, I think, for XP per hour. So,
Well, the way it sits at the moment, you've got a course every 10 levels. So I think I saw this suggestion, and it was new courses for every 5 levels. Which
a lot of courses.
it's a lot of courses, but if we were to kind of maybe implement
is it-
that from 70 plus,
is it to do with the fact that the Seers one in particular is generally quite efficient for quite a while due
Yeah.
to the teleport?
yeah, because of the
Yeah.
because of the diary teleport, it's a lot quicker than other ones. So maybe if we were to look at new courses from 70 plus rather than like 40 to 70, it's pointless, I think.
If
I'd agree.
CS course is better than the others, maybe we should look at them rather than just introducing new ones.
Yeah, I think.
Rather than making them even more dead than they already are, maybe we can revive them in some way.
Yeah.
Agree.
Maybe I don't know, give
Yeah.
them some other uses.
The chat seemed quite keen on buffing other courses instead.
Yeah.
I think this is a great one for a first straw poll, actually.
Yeah, when we originally designed the rooftop courses, they came from a player design content competition. And the idea came in, we wanted to expand it a bit by putting the ability to climb up the big famous buildings in RuneScape, so that you could sort of do them as part of the diary rewards. So you'd have to climb to the top of Lumbridge Church, for example, and you could go up the outside and find the route and do that sort of thing. We didn't got time to put it in. That would have been quite cool to do that.
Yeah, that would be cool if we could implement
Give
that.
your agility reason for the
Oh, it's ready already,
the
wow.
rewards as well.
So we're going to make this straw poll. Are we saying what? Agility courses, buff existing, does that say 70 plus?
70 plus.
New courses, 70 plus. I think we're just looking to buff all past 50 plus, is that right?
CS is at 60, so
Yeah.
Okay.
probably 70 plus. Yeah,
Okay.
you're right.
Do you agree with those?
It looks
Yep.
good.
So really good.
So essentially the two options are to add new courses or improve the existing ones. You guys vote on that in a second. Moving on to the next question. One Lucky says, as developers, are you guys at all concerned about the minority parts of the community for whom it's nearly impossible to get positive updates voted through, due to the majority of the community either deciding it's a waste of dev time or simply voting no because they find it funny?
I think it's a problem. I think if you look at why people play the game, you have a group of people who play it just to play the game, but then you have some people who play it for very specific reasons. We need to figure out a way of servicing them a bit more. How that works, I think we're probably going to have to talk to the community and figure out the best way of doing it. But we can't continue to ignore these people, otherwise we'll see things such as the PvPers will start disappearing off because we're not getting the PvP updates. The Clan Wars people, there's very few of them left now because we haven't been able to get the Clan Wars updates out. Pures, all sorts. So we need to think about that. We need to have a conversation with you guys about that as well, I think.
Yeah, definitely in agreement there. I think, how long ago was it that we decided to nerf Zulrah, obviously. I think those are some of the best changes we've done, definitely going forward. I think there's room for further changes. Similar, people saying neither. Are they referring to the straw poll?
Yes.
Okay. So we didn't give you a neither option, but it seems there is some support to say you actually like it how it is now, don't change it. That's interesting. Regardless, the current straw poll says buff existing 70 plus at 71%. Interesting. That will be a fascinating one for the polls. Moving on, Killer says, can there be a fishing requirement to purchase the Karambwan from Tiadesh? With 65 fishing, even though you can complete the quest without 65 fishing, this will slow bots from purchasing Karambwans.
Yeah.
Yeah, we can do
There's
that.
better options than that, though, to combat the bots. I mean, the thing with bots is when we come to a piece of content that we can change to upset bots, we've got to look at how many people do that legitimately. So we have to look at how many people are buying those who are using it normally who aren't bots. And if that's good, then we've got to look at they're going to be inconvenienced. How can we not inconvenience them? So do we start doing things, for example, checking everybody who's buying those things legitimately, what other stuff have they done, start putting in quest limitations, which everyone's already done. So from a bot's point of view, you have to do the quest, but a normal player's already got that quest complete, and all that other sorts of stuff we've got to sort of think about from there. So choosing the right restriction is the way to go, rather than putting the obvious one on there, if you see what I mean.
It's something we've been having quite a discussion about recently, of adding requirements to stop bots. And there's been a bit of a debate on it, and we've spoken to some people from RS3, and when they've tried similar things, it just hasn't worked for them. So we need to be really careful to make sure any changes we do make are actually going to have an impact, because otherwise we're just going to make things harder for legitimate players and not stop the bots at all.
Yeah. It's a very, very difficult balance act.
Just gonna.
It takes a lot of data to get it right.
Absolutely.
Fortunately, we've got a lot of data.
We like data.
Mod Lottie, that's her name, isn't it? She's got all the data.
Every time that Ronan's on the camera, it always a shock to me when he zooms in and you go like, oh, I was catching me off guard.
We're going to grab a question from the chat here, I think. Corey says, any way to bring Castle Wars back? Never had a good game there in years. Not busy enough. Actually, there's a Castle Wars question in here. I think I'm going to jump to it.
We've polled it going free to play, and that looks like it's passed now. Is it poll closed? That was yesterday,
Yeah,
wasn't it?
that's
It's
passed.
done. It's in QA right now. ModCom finished it today.
Yeah. So we've got a bit of work to do to get the right tracking in place to see how it does. But I know that Modstone have some ideas about how we can get a nice bit of excitement in there when that goes out.
I was going to say that was one of his. We were talking about like what would you do as a TAP project? Because obviously he's marketing, I'm CM. He was talking about doing stuff with Castle Wars. Sounds quite fun.
But yeah, I think he's got some ideas about how we can promote that really well, and there's some quite fun ones. So I'm looking forward to see how that goes. Hopefully that will get excitement back into Castle Wars again and build it up a bit.
We have one suggestion actually in the Q&A. I suggest special restore be added to the altars in Castle Wars. Would make the game much more active. What do you think?
Don't know.
So obviously
why would it
special
make it more
attack
active?
is extremely helpful in Castle Wars. This would completely, I think, change the game. Things like Dragon Spears,
Oh god, yeah.
yeah, etc. So essentially, could you run out, use all your specials, die, re-get your special attack, go and do it again? Are there problems with that? Does that just make it more fun? Something to consider.
I think the problem would be like at the area where most people barricade, next to the bit that you can get in and out. Unless we stop it, people are just going to consistently spear and never get up the stairs, just using the spec attack style. But
I think one easy fix we could do to help the way the game's run. Currently, you do get XP from hitting barricades, and people splash on them, and it ruins the fun for legitimate players because they can't. You've got a limit on how many barricades you can place. So I think if we were to remove XP from barricades, that should hopefully help the game flow a bit more.
I think the biggest change we could make to make Castle Wars work, we've spoken about it before, is to have a queuing system in game. So no matter where you are, you say, I want to play a game of Castle Wars, and as soon as it's ready, it can teleport you into there without you having to wait around for 5 minutes or 15 minutes.
Yeah,
You can't find a world with the game going. Get everybody into one world where they can play the game at the same time, and just sort of move people around. There's technical issues around that, but I think for any piece of content like that, we should have that in place. But it's not easy to do. Getting different worlds to talk to each other is a bit of a problem for us. So.
Absolutely love that idea. That was one of Mod Jed's, I believe. Could work with any activity, so you could be in the middle of a Slayer task and then decide, you know what, I want to hop into a duel, or I want to go and play this mini game. You'd hop right into it, and then you'd come right back to where you were with your Slayer task. So, really hope we can see that.
Yeah, that'd be good.
Moving forward, Jug says, can we store the following in our costume room? Penance armor, missing treasure chest rewards, odium, malediction. Says, we can store ancestral, why can we not store armadillo and bandos?
Sure, absolutely. Should we give us a list?
Okay,
Quick
that's,
job.
that's really it.
Tell us what you want and we can do it. It's really quick.
I'll hang on to that one then. Done. Subtle says, please add an option to recolor individual graceful pieces at Brimhaven after unlocking the full set. We can use the colored pieces with Izzy to remove the color. Please allow us to use the normal graceful.
Wait, Ultimate Iron Man. Sorry, the chat just pointed out. Would that make problems with Ultimate Iron Man and storing of things?
Does Ultimate Iron Man have a...
Yeah.
Well, I guess it depends
Do we
on
have
what
any
we're
Ultimate
letting
Iron
them
Man
Just have to
store.
pull back a second. Sorry.
We let them store a lot already.
Would we be fine with that?
I guess it's a case-by-case basis of what we're letting them store.
Okay. I just wanted to raise that up. I completely zoned out. I was like, hang on a second. Bandos and Armadillo.
So currently they can store very hard to get mage gear,
Yeah.
but they can't store quite accessible melee and range gear.
Yeah.
So it's whether or not we want to open that up to them as well.
Okay.
We'd have to, I mean, the amount of Ultimate Iron Men shouldn't impact the update as a whole.
Yeah, for sure.
Things
Ooh.
do. We just have to look at how we treat that.
Yep.
That's
Speaking for the
example
community.
of it.
Agreed.
Sorry, guys.
That's all right. I'm just going to restart. This is a long question. Please add an option to recolor individual graceful pieces to Brimhaven after unlocking the full set. We can use the colored pieces with Izzy to remove the color. Please allow us to use normal graceful with her after the unlock for a cost between 50 to 80 per piece instead of 250 for all. It really sucks having to do 9 hours of the minigame and pay for a full set unlock again when you when you lose only 1 to 2 pieces of the set. Does that
Sorry, I
make
didn't get
sense?
that. Do you want to say again?
I'm not.
So essentially, it wants the option to recolor individual pieces of the set rather than the entire set at once. Currently, you can remove the color individually, but you can't apply the color individually.
Seems sensible to be able to do that if they want to. Guess no reason why not. Yeah, pretty much. Talk about Graceful. Right, Graceful's named after my dog Grace. And this morning, because we're moving house in a week, we're trying to empty everything out of the freezer, so we're giving her food out of the freezer to eat. So we have some old chicken legs in there.
Where's the correlation?
Right, so I'm just trying to fill the gap.
Speaking of
Ask
graceful,
questions.
So I gave her these 3 bits of chicken drumsticks to eat, and she just sat there looking at them thinking she wasn't allowed them. It took her 20 minutes to dare to go to a bowl to pick up this chicken drumstick to eat.
And that's why we're not going to recolor Graceful separately.
I'm seeing some moving on in the chat.
Moving on to the chat.
In that story
Yeah.
was the crack the clue hint. Well done.
Ain't that good of an actor.
The first letter of every word you said just now.
That would be
Next question.
horrific, wouldn't it?
Bull says, can you reduce competitive last man standing games to 24 players instead of 48? It's pretty much only active when streamers go there, and this should help them get games going quicker. I'm full agreement
Yeah,
here.
I agree with that. Yeah, makes perfect sense.
Somebody is actually going to take the time to rewatch what you just said and get
Yeah.
the first letter.
Yeah.
Somebody
Of course
really
they will.
paranoid
Please, somebody
is
do
doing
that
that right now.
Then you've got to rearrange them into a sentence.
Yeah, so that, yeah.
I'm Only God says, can we get a Deadman tournament to end in a 1v1 zone? Thought this would be an appropriate time to talk about our ideas, or at least a couple of ideas to improve Deadman finales. Yeah?
yeah. So shall I relay one of Mod Kieran's ideas, which was separating the final layer into like 4 grids or something similar, and then basically isolating groups of players and then slowly expanding that area. So what basically you beat one person, then then moved on to the next round, and then moved on to the next round, and so on. So it will come down to the last man standing rather than one clan winning and basically nominating a winner.
So the big problem here, making the final area of Deadman a single area has been an idea since the first ever one, which we've addressed many times. Boxing is a problem. It is something that we obviously disqualify for in the tournament. However, it requires obvious moderation. And in the final hour, with potentially 2,000 people playing, in that tournament there, it'd be absolutely ridiculous trying to moderate all of that.
Yeah.
That's why it's multi everywhere, or at least in the final area leading up to it. In addition to that, if and when a team ends up winning Deadman with, say, 20, 30, in this case I think Rot won with like 40 people left, they're not, or maybe they don't want to, get into 1v1 fights. In this case, and as they have before, they'll simply pick their leader and say, you win, we'll all suicide over here. So if we told them, or whoever ends up winning, with however many numbers they have, do 1v1s now, they don't have to.
Yeah, it all boils down to what happens if you've got 21 v1s going on. One of them decides, well, I'm not going to fight you. Then what happens?
Yeah, they would throw fights if they wanted to,
Yeah.
which we wouldn't stop them. So we need to figure out a way to get around that, essentially. Open to ideas, obviously.
We want a legitimate winner at the end of it, someone who's actually kind of had to slay his way to the prize money. That's what we envision. So if you've got any suggestions to help us get to that point, awesome.
In addition, the final area, say there's like 300 people at the end there. That's done in a matter of minutes in multi, whereas if that was singles, 150 different 1v1s, we're going to be here all night. So hopefully we can figure something else. I can't even see what that emote is.
So there's a suggestion in the chat, which is about Deadman.
Oh, okay. Lemon says, how are clans going to be tackled in Deadman as a solo player? Could clans send only one representative into the final hour as limitation?
See, without a clan system in place, and it'd be really easy to manipulate that. So it's a creative way of addressing it, but it isn't really feasible. How can we moderate who's in which clan? You could easily open a new clan, pretend you're not in that clan, and so on and so on.
Yeah, you could pretend to be part of a different clan.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's a thing.
Imagine that.
We do have a very exciting potential event going forward that is similar, that I think will cater to solo PKers more. Also, obviously, we have the PvP Championship coming up. That is, I believe, we're aiming for August 12th and 13th.
Yep, news post is up, CMS page is up. I believe Modstone's been tweeting about it and posting about it already. So that was like 5 minutes before we started the stream.
Let's actually talk about that a little bit. So for those who aren't aware, we have $30,000 to give away. So 10,000 of which going to the best 1v1 winner.
You looked at me when you said $30,000.
I'm looking for like
Sure,
approval.
right.
Like I'm allowed to say this. We have said this before.
Well, I'm a boss yet.
Like, what if Matt was like,
I'm not going to stop. We have a 5v5 tournament, and then we have a 20v20 bracket. So we'll have 2 live streams going across 2 different days, just qualification rounds, or qualifiers rather, moving forward into the semifinals and finals, essentially. So really, really exciting stuff. I'm going to go ahead and say we have Bodhi and Ian Spam, or Pure Spam, casting. Hopefully we'll be able to convince Bodhi to maybe participate in the 1v1s. I think he'd do quite well. But it's looking to be an incredibly exciting event. Mark it down your calendar, that's August 12th and 13th.
Yeah, so to clarify as well, the 1v1s is invitation only. In the future, if this is successful, and if we get kind of what we want, like maybe an ELO-based system, in the future we can look at having it as a tournament you qualify for. But we are accepting applications for the 5v5 and the 20 versus 20. They're open right now, so check the news post and you look at how you can register, get your teammates on board.
Yeah, I mean, the big issue with the 1v1s right now is that everybody would enter it. And if we've got 1,000 people entering it, it's a huge amount of work to get it actually a process working, so we have to get it back down to the final 16. So the first test is to see if this is something which you guys enjoy, that you guys want us to do, and once we've got that, then we're able to go back and say, right, for next year's one or the next one, we can actually create an in-game system so that you can automatically rank in there, and then we can choose where the first set arrives, depending on how many people are doing it and how popular it is. So yes, this is the way we've got to do it first, to see how it works, and then we can roll it out if there is a desire from you guys to do it. Alternatively, we'd have to put the ELO system in place first. which would take months and
It'll take
months
a
of
while.
development time. So we want to test it first, and this is the way to do it.
But once we do have that system in place, like we can apply that to a lot of mini games competitions, and we're really excited to get it in place.
Absolutely, yeah.
We have quite a few ideas going forward. This should hopefully just be the first one. So somebody asking why isn't Skidler casting? He's actually away on holiday for that tournament. I think he's in Florida, but we might be able to get him to participate in the 1v1s. He's obviously quite skilled, but yeah.
Now, somebody just asked what is an Ello. It's actually aimed after somebody rather than an acronym, which when people say ELO, it's like, no, it's not, that's the name of the band. Ello is a system that Dr. Ello came up with, I think his name was, about how to do a online tournament, just a tournament ranking system.
It was to do with chess.
Was it chess? There you go. Online chess ranking tournament. Yeah, so it's just it's a tournament ranking system.
Trying to find Elo.
Not emo.
I'm finding Electric Light Orchestra.
See,
That is
that's
not
the
what I'm
band,
looking
you
for.
see.
Is Mr. Blue Sky the biggest song,
Mr.
isn't
Blue
it?
Sky,
Yeah.
yeah.
Is it
I see what I know.
He's probably watching Mr. Blue Sky. He usually watches.
Aprad Elo, the inventor of the Elo rating system. Looks like a smart guy. Plays chess. There you go. What more do you need?
Pub quiz material right here.
All right. Moving forward, we talked about the PvP Championship. I think enough. How are we doing for time? We've got a little bit more time before we get into the sneak peek, I think. So I wanted to take this time to actually talk about ideas that the team might have and might be willing to share relative to either TAP projects or just ideas in general. Like no limitations, what's something that you'd be happy to see in the game? Should have prepped you guys, maybe.
You probably should talk
We're
before.
prepared for this.
Well, Ronan has something to answer, and I have something to answer. I only prepped Ronan. I told you about this.
He's like shaking his head. He has
I
no
told
idea.
you earlier. Do you know your crazy idea?
Oh, kind of.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mic yourself up. I'll do mine first. Okay. I've had a few kind of like crazy outgoing ideas. I'm going to give you a couple more of the more tame ones that I'd like to see personally. Let me just find my note here. Okay. First idea, community stream. Imagine we're doing like one of our Wednesday night streams. And what I would want to do with this is have anybody who logs into this world, which we would be spectating, would start at a starting point, at one point on the map. Okay? The very, very western corner with unlimited run energy. And we would say 3, 2, 1, go, and then watch them all run and fight the pathing system and see if they know the best routes, obviously no teleports. And then we would sit at the finish line at the complete eastern side of the map and see which one made it to the end first. Maybe give them something small, like some membership or
I
something.
did a very similar thing when I was looking after the Max players many years ago. I did a very similar thing with them where we had a race from Isfadar all the way over to
Port Tyrant? No.
the horrible place, all the little buildings.
Maya Ditch.
Mayaditch, that was it, yeah. All the way through. They had to work all the way through Mayaditch to get to the final thing, which was right at the top, and they all forgot where they were going. That was enormous fun. An awful lot of fun for all.
They like the race idea. We're in.
Mod
Yeah.
Kieran had this really good idea. We recently got the ability. Did they know about the ability they recently gotten from Modbot E and stuff? They know about that already. We have shown it. Heat maps. We've shown it already on a tweet.
Yes.
I was like, can I talk about this? Yes, we have heat map ability, and Kieran wants to do a community stream where he gets people to like draw pictures with the heat map. Because we can get a ton of people in
dangerous.
an area. Yeah, it's going to be very dangerous. And that's my concern, but I think it's going to be brilliant. If,
Exactly what
massive-
we could draw a picture of.
Q, P, W.
and a W, yeah.
Probably.
Sort
Beautiful.
that out.
It'd be like our place.
Ronan, are you mic'd up?
I am, but I don't think I should go over it.
No?
Just because I'm not
I've
prepared.
hyped it
I
up.
feel like if it's a good idea and I present it badly,
Okay.
and it's
All right.
properly.
He's going to save it for maybe next.
We can't have
maybe
a
next
build up
year.
like that and then not do it. Come on.
That's fine. I've got another genius idea.
I have an idea of what I would like to do.
Yeah.
I would like to do a real life RuneScape thing where we get the
A festival of some sort.
the final of Deadman, okay, where you have 300 people going at each other.
Yeah.
And I would like to choreograph that with real people in a real thing. Get 2 armies dressed up in RuneScape gear and go and kick the crap out of each other.
So LARPing.
2 people drop their weapons and start boxing each other.
Boxing in the corner, yeah. I would like to make that as a real life thing and to have a proper video of a real life RuneScape thing. We get players to come in and do it.
They're saying cringe, Matt.
They're saying,
Would that be
I
cringy?
don't care, but that would be great fun. Don't you think getting 300 RuneScape players to beat each other up would be great fun?
feel as health and safety?
Yeah,
Don't worry
I mean,
about
give me
it,
some
Didn't that happen at a RuneFest one, yeah?
Might have done, yeah.
give me some protection gear and I'll do it. Sneak peek time?
Yes.
What'd you think?
Yeah, sure.
You ready?
Yep.
Okay, we'll send you over and I'll run through my other idea while you prep.
Go quickly.
Okay. Second sick idea.
Sick idea.
Absolutely. So this was a world event again. Everybody logs in. Everybody's participating in this event. It's not like an optional thing. If you're in this world, you're doing it. It is a tournament world, so everybody's got the max stats, max gear, has access to all of that stuff, and it is again using the whole world from point A to point B, capture the flag game. So you have one team's base at one side of the map, another team's base on the other side of the map. You run a flag, which I guess spawns in the middle. You have to try to make it to the, try to bring it back to your, no, you have to make it to the opposing team, I guess.
So
But there-
it's Castle Wars, but in the entire world.
An entire world of Castle Wars. And you can't teleport.
You can't.
Cannot teleport. No,
Oh.
I'm not going to take the flag then teleport. That's cheating. You have to run the whole thing.
Valid
Use your
question.
It's a
team.
long game, yeah.
Imagine 2,000 people tops. Whole world Castle Wars.
Could we do it in the real world as well, with people just...
They like my ideas. Good. Maybe it'll happen.
My tap time is what I
It's
planned.
almost like
quite-
you had time to prep for this and everyone else was like, think of something quick.
Yeah, my ideas is really quite tame. I want to get podcasts going to kind of discuss the really meaty topics we don't have time to go in in Q&As. And so I love clan wars. Like clan warring has been my main passion on RuneScape for years now. So I'd like to do some kind of like weekly highlights reel, like think match of the day, but for wars and stuff like that. Maybe attend and stream some live wars. But
Yeah.
that's kind of what I want to
I would
do.
love to do that.
A lot of support for
And
that.
I used to clan back in 2004, 5, 6, and that it was always a wonderful thing to be involved in.
I think we said we might have warred against each other at one point.
I
Yeah.
would most likely have won, but you know,
So many good ideas. This is nothing. Wait till you see
we should have a
RuneFest.
war in real life, me and you.
Wait till you see
I'm so excited
RuneFest.
for RuneFest. So excited for RuneFest.
I wish I could say some stuff.
I know.
No spoilers.
Me too. We've had some
Way
great
better.
meetings about things.
It'd be worth the wait.
Okay, is Mod West ready?
Yeah, good.
Yeah? All right, let's head over to the sneak peek of the week.
Clicking.
Cool. Hello everyone, so what I've got here is a monster made of tar, as you can clearly see this. So I didn't model this is modeled by Mod Ghost. I just started creating some animations for it as it sort of worked as quite a nice model to be used as a lava monster as well. So this monster will be in the lava mine, it will attack you, you have to deal with it, and it's, yeah, sort of added some horns, made it look lavary, as you can see. And I got some animations, so we got the idol, we have an attack animation.
Oh my god.
Yeah, it's sort of like muck. And we've also got a spawn animation, so that's a bit spooky, that one.
It looks like cheese strings for hands.
It's lava. Initially when I created it, it was just all yellow and it looked like a mustard monster. So I had to sort of play with it a bit to make sure it didn't look like mustard. And what else we got? We've also got a defend anim, as all monsters have defend anims. So you can sort of guess what you're going to be doing with this monster in the lava mine. And as well, the tar monster, that will be outside of the lava mine. And just the attack anim again. And the spawn. Yeah. It's not a dab. Okay, maybe it's a little bit. That's unfortunate. Cool. It's cool. So that's what I've got for Fossil Island this week. Thanks for watching.
Hey. I've missed doing sneak peeks. When can we hope to potentially see another sneak peek for Fossil Island? No pressure.
I don't know, it depends.
If the community wants it.
I want it.
Oh, swapping places.
We could possibly do one next week.
Next week?
Next week it is.
Hey,
It's progressing really well, Fossil Island. We've got lots of things that we can show, actually.
It's a really awkward place to sit, I've got to say.
Well, yeah, that's why I put my legs up.
There was someone in the chat going, why is Ed sat so close to Mod Wolves? Like, try sitting there, it just doesn't work.
I put my legs up and they get really angry about it, so I can't do that anymore. So now we just avoid the centre.
Moving on. All right, Zora says, can the Western Elite resurrection for Zulrah make you invulnerable until you perform an action? This would act as a safeguard for hardcore Ironman disconnects and wouldn't make the boss any easier. So at the moment, obviously, if they're doing Zulrah and they DC, the diary will bring them back to life only for them to die again.
When
This
they
would
say an
prevent that.
action, what do they mean?
I mean clicking or
No.
moving the mouse or anything.
I mean, we've spoke about this before, but just in a different way, which is when you get resurrected outside. They've spoke about this tons of times, but they've never really seemed up for the idea. Like, they've never really desired it as in a lot, like the majority of the community. But then this comes back to the previous question that you've had about benefiting minority segments of the community, like Ultimate Iron Men, Hardcore Iron Men. Got there eventually. It's doable, I just don't know if it would pass. And I don't know if everyone would want it.
Something to consider.
What we do have is, and one of the things we've sort of discussed off in the past, was we have a way of knowing when lots of our players are disconnecting close to each other. We have a way of knowing that in game, so we can have a different behaviour when we think this is going on. So if it's a server having the problem, we can change the behaviour in game. And one of the things we were going to look at initially doing it was change the death mechanics depending on whether this thing was going on or not. We never did, we just kept it as the current death mechanics we've got. But we have that ability, so it can apply sometimes and not to others if a lot of people have disconnected around that time. But if people are disconnecting for other reasons...
That's only beneficial if you're one of the ones that's not being disconnected, though.
Yeah.
It's very true. It's very true, it's got to kick in before you get disconnected.
So there will be a sacrifice, a sacrificial hardcore Iron Man before we can turn it on.
All right. Moving forward, dude says, can you make the Ents in Woodcutting Guild non-aggressive? The aggressive Ents interrupt woodcutting players and stop them from chopping Ent trunks. Makes sense for Wilderness, but not in the Woodcutting Guild.
Sounds fair.
Yeah. Next question.
No, let's not do that.
Even the chat's reaction.
I think
is
like,
fine.
just have to think about the intention of putting them there. Was it purposefully to prevent woodcutting?
Surely it
then,
was.
If not, then
Yeah.
get rid of them. Or,
Bunch
not,
of
or
no's in
make
the
them non-aggressive rather.
So what was the question again?
Let's drop hold this one.
I think you could lure them over to like a safe spot.
So currently there are Ents in the Woodcutting Guild.
Yes.
Makes sense. They are aggressive and they interrupt you when you're woodcutting. Should we make them unaggressive? They should make them different from their counterparts in the Wilderness, which are in fact aggressive.
Well, I'll start by saying it's doable. If people wanted it, I can say that.
They want it particularly, does it?
Yeah, but yeah, it doesn't look like they want it.
Or maybe.
Same.
I always find people that don't want something are very loud, and people who do want something kind of sit back and they're like, yeah. So they
It
don't
doesn't
really
really work
spam.
in our game. We have a poll system. Yeah, it's doable. So let us know.
All right.
Wow,
Oh, wow.
that was impressive.
Almost a 50-50 split. That's probably representative. More yeses than I guess I would have expected. None in the chat. Okay. That's really
Like seeing
fascinating
the numbers
watching
go
it
up
just
really
climb.
quick. Yeah.
Good to know. Moving on. Last Monkey says, can you please release the Dark Relic ancient tablet drop rates from raids? Kieran forgot them when he released raids drop rates.
I take it you haven't got them sitting there.
I don't.
You could
Also,
have
Kieran's
asked us
not in
beforehand and
today.
we would have got it.
No, I'll chat with Kieran when he gets back and
Yeah.
get him to put them out. I think it's only fair.
We can get him.
Yeah. Who's Kieran? around
It's
next?
safe to say.
He's coming in about 15 minutes, he texts me.
Oh.
Not in here, but he's coming.
It's safe to say we'll probably have him for the
He's
next
going to
Q&A.
the pub.
Yeah.
He's with Ash in London, isn't he, right now?
No, he's in
No.
town.
That was yesterday, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
he's
yeah.
training. That's what he's
Training
doing
with
today.
Ash.
That's the
Yeah,
one.
that's the one.
Yeah.
Next question. Saber says, would it be possible to enable players to use items on their Elite Explorer's Ring to high alch them, instead of needing to go through the functions of the ring? Reason being, it can be somewhat difficult to access the high alch option on the ring in combat / while on Ancients and Lunars.
That we can do now, actually. The reason that it has a right-click function and you have to choose is that previously... Oh, no, yeah, we can do that, absolutely. Previously we had a limit on wear-ups, and now ModTom H rewritten wear-ups so that we can have more. We can actually do that. We can pull that. I'd be up for that. It's quite irritating.
Yeah, it shouldn't be a problem. The interface stays open in combat anyway. So.
Nice. Twisted Bow says, could Godsword kits also change the color of the special attack?
They can. Can they? I can change the colour.
Good answer.
But I guess it's just the spotting, isn't it?
Yeah.
just
Anything's
always from
possible.
spotting.
Yeah.
Do you want Godsword kits to change the color of special attacks?
So yeah, so you have to make a separate item with a separate spot item.
We were talking about
A
this
red
little while
HES
ago.
spec. Ooh,
Yeah, should be able to
Oh.
just use recalls on all the
I'm
spotting.
seeing lots of yeses.
I
There's
don't
a
know.
lot of yeses.
It's interesting, isn't it?
Do we have recalls on Spot?
It would make them useful. I'd probably buy one.
I would.
Yeah,
You must
that's
do.
pretty cool.
Oh, Progenims.
Let's hang on to that idea. That's a cool idea. If I can click on this question. Whatever. Let's
It's
grab it from the
ironic, we
chat.
spoke about this recoloring of Progenims previously.
Yeah, we did.
So, yeah.
There we
doable.
go.
We should create a shop that we could put them in and sell them to players.
Next question.
Moving on.
Lee says, if Castle Wars comes to free-to-play, will there be tickets as rewards?
Yes.
Yes, they will get tickets.
But not, they won't be able to buy all the rewards because they didn't vote for all the rewards.
Yeah.
So, what we are offering some of the non-best in slot stuff, aren't we?
I think the only things that we're offering are original sets of decorated melee armour, as well as maybe Hood and Cape. I can't remember about that one. But yeah.
Yep, so the red blue, which is pretty pants in terms of stats, we're offering.
It's a very British term.
I mean, obviously they'll have the
That's
tickets,
like
so
very
if
British
ever,
band.
If it's bad.
if they ever become a member, they'll have the tickets and they can then use them.
Yeah, incentive.
Chicken
upsell.
has a question. He says, often the fishing net rips on the trawler within a second on the boat finishing the trip. Any chance, that's not a question, any chance we can get an immunity period of the net ripping in the last few seconds of a trip before we can react to it?
Yes,
That'd be nice.
we can.
Okay, cool. Can you hang on to that question?
Yep.
Thank you. Quincy says, can kittens get a clearer message in chat when they're in need?
Yes.
Yeah, I
We can
agree.
colour that red if you want.
I looked at it the other week.
What do we mean by
In
clear?
RuneScape.
Do we want it
In
to?
RuneScape,
Do we want
yeah.
it to flash? Because we already give them
It's
a
not red
message.
at the moment, is it?
Is it,
We can just make the
is it
message
just
red.
Is that does it just blend in?
I would
Yeah.
like
Will that be enough, or do
Okay.
they want more?
We
like
could
an
even-
arrow on the cat pointing at it.
We could do that. We could have the
Give 'em the,
the cat, like have a little, little chat box with the cat and it can go
Yeah.
meow.
Give them the Drunken Dwarf
They
audio.
already do? Yeah, we're saying make it red. That's all.
Yeah, because there's already a message.
Yeah.
But
What do we do to make them actually see it?
So far, everything we said yes to is going to take about 30 minutes. So we've said yes to a lot of things.
Your whole screen should flash red. Like you can be in
We
mid
could do
combat.
that.
Like, your kitten is going to die.
We can do that as well.
Just go solid red and just leave it for 5 minutes, just so you know it's going to be
Yeah.
ready. when
As
you
your
go.
kitten dies, it takes you with you. I said, takes you.
That would make people pay attention, wouldn't it?
Feed your damn cat. Psycho says, any plans? I've lost the question. Where did that go? Jagex Rock says, everything but Halos, Mage, and Range Armor for Castle Wars rewards.
So
There
the
you go.
decorated armor and the kits.
This question from Psycho says,
Generous.
any plans for runecrafting experience rates being increased or new ways to train?
No.
Can't imagine we'll increase what's already there. That seems a bit sort of touching the holy grail, for want of a better phrase. But new ways to train it. I think different ways.
like a span.
Oh, runecrafting, Todd.
Runecrafting, Todd. Yeah,
Yes.
different.
Can we say no and move on?
Yeah, can we say no? Can we stop teasing them? They're going to be
I
upset.
think there's a lot of variety in runecrafting right now. I think we're looking good as it is.
Like, we can bring new things to runecrafting, but
Ooh,
I don't see any need to change the XP rates.
Yeah, be careful with that. That's a very touchy
I
topic.
want to see a runecrafting cannon where you put all your essence in, and you have to aim it at different rune portals and fire them all through at once.
So you want
And see how many you
Duck
get through,
Hunter.
like a machine gun. Scroll across the screen. Or you can have like Frogger, can't you? We have to jump across
I was thinking Duck
trying to
Hunter.
dodge cars as they try.
Back and forth to the altar, yeah.
What's going on with
Dodging the
somebody's,
PKs.
somebody's mic is maybe getting some static or something.
Oh yeah,
It's-
your
it's probably
microphone
your-
is
your
so
new mic.
weird. It's like digging into your chest right now. I was meant to point it out. I was going to do it casually, but evidently they're not too happy.
Let us know if we fixed it. Next question then. Quincy had another question. Said, can the puzzle at Barrows be made so that you can get attacked uninterrupted while trying to solve it? This will be a very controversial one.
You just.
Again, we can do it. It's just if they want it, I'm not too sure.
So what's the point? They're supposed to do it fast.
I would love to straw pull this one,
I have a feeling it will
if
fail.
possible. So the puzzles at Barrows. Obviously, you're currently interrupted when doing them if you're attacked. Would you like it the other way around? This would be interesting. Next question. We actually have a few suggestions from the community this week with images, if we're ready. First one is sardine snacks. Had like 1 million upvotes. Put seasoned sardines into an empty sack. The spices preserve the fish, so they last longer. You can take out one at a time. And the kitten would stay fed twice as long because they are delicious. Maybe locked behind a cat training medal.
Oh, that cat training medal's the worst. That's like catch 100 rats.
Now see, there's a serious flaw here. If something's delicious,
how does good
it doesn't
tasting
keep you
food
fed
fill you up longer?
Because if something's delicious, you want to have more of it. So it's actually not going to feed the kitten at all. It's just going to want
There's
more.
so many people saying, it was a meme. It was a meme.
No, see, I looked into that. It was not a meme for many people.
This is a way to what? The benefit was to not take up so much inventory space when feeding your cat.
Yes.
Or maybe we could do it the other way round, where you have to feed it more sardines more often, but you keep them in your bag.
If you could feed them like stackable minnow,
That's a fair trade-off.
Yeah.
Hey.
yeah, you got the reference. It's fine.
Okay. As expected, quite controversial. Barrows puzzles to either remain the same
That's almost a split.
or, I don't know, you'd be uninterrupted when trying to solve them. About a 50-50 split again. Nearly 2,000 votes. Jeez.
Can you vote no for me?
I'd vote yes.
I don't know, but yeah. I just like to be able to tell them if we can or can't do it before they have an opinion. It's usually useful.
We used to put the chat into sub mode and it was nice and calm. Now it's just even worse.
We've got some nice
Just
emotes
weird
being
emotes.
constructed.
What's that one with the eyes?
The
Bodhi
Bodhi
one?
No, the laser red thing.
Yeah, it's Bodhi.
Is it? Oh.
Yeah. It's one like, I think it's like Bodhi Triggered or something, I don't know.
There's so many.
A Modorai will know.
There's so many. Yeah, there it is. Let's grab this last suggestion from the community this week, guys. Sorry, there's actually 2 more.
Yeah, that one.
Another massively upvoted suggestion this week, probably not a meme, very serious. Let us use raw beef as a foam finger so we can cheer on our friends in the duel arena.
Does look like one, doesn't it?
We can do it again if the community want it. Sure.
Can you use rotten potatoes in the jar? Rotten tomatoes in the duel arena?
Yeah.
Sorry, rotten
Yeah.
tomatoes
You can throw
in the
them.
duel arena. You throw them at people in the duel arena. That should be fine, shouldn't it?
Why does this stuff get so many upvotes?
Or could you have sort of a right-click option for cheer for player, so that all the people around the outside watching to go yay, and then the name of the person they're cheering for comes above their head.
All of this is very quickly doable.
You know, we could. The question is, should we?
Yeah, absolutely, yeah.
We don't ever have to ask that question.
You can already click on the barriers, can't you? So it's just having another right click that's cheer, and then we can do that.
Somebody's going to be upset that we're staying on this topic so long. Next
Yeah.
question. Random event scaling is the 3rd and final suggestion this week with an image. Basically, the reward of the random event will be multiplied by the reward scale depending on that player's total level, making randoms worth doing for all levels.
Maze on
You see,
10 times, that'd be great.
I like the idea. What I like was the maze.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That random event,
Everybody
which
likes
I think
the
is
Because it's the
useful
best
because
one.
you get good rewards and you have to put a bit of effort in. And if you know, it's that satisfaction of I know the route Therefore, I can immediately go. Dunk, dunk,
Wait. Everybody, why are they saying yes to this? That thing just said
It's
it would.
free stuff.
But so the XP lamp would be 10k.
Yep.
A 10k XP lamp
At max
Oh.
level though.
Oh,
at 2200
nah,
plus. That's huge.
Yeah.
I train my Runecrafting just by.
What about frog tokens? 10
How are they
times
saying
the
yes?
frog tokens?
Oh, dude, all the frog outfits.
Yeah,
Amazing.
all frog outfits from one event.
If the community wants it.
I mean, it's fine. It's just I wouldn't have expected them to have said it. You know, like
If the community
Well,
wants
I
it.
mean, you got to think if you're going to get 10k XP, that basically means you're maxed already. So what is 10k XP?
well, yeah.
to you?
Except from we'll just do one of those things. You know, people that like have 50 Runecrafting and 50 Hunter, and everything else is max because they hit those two skills. I don't know that
They're
one.
definitely going to vote yes for it.
There we go. Right.
Yeah.
I like it, but I don't like the experience.
What we could
I mean,
do is
make it better,
we
but
could
not
put
as
it in a
much.
shop and sell it to the players.
So people are saying I'd vote yes for this without the experience.
Weren't you meant to be giving some form of hint or something?
Oh, yeah, we'll
for
do it
this
at some
stream?
point. Yeah.
Okay, all right.
We might have
Which-
already given it.
already
If
said
they
it.
didn't listen
Yeah.
carefully, they might already have it.
Tease.
Blinking in Morse code.
This service.
Just go back and watch it all from the beginning.
Sorry, what were the results from that straw poll?
Yes.
It was about
I just
84% yes.
missed that.
85% yes.
Which one did we straw poll just now? Was that the fingers?
No, that was the.
As the
Oh, that was the events. Cool.
Yeah.
Wow. Surprising. That was our final suggestion of the week. Okay, moving forward. Corcelia says, can you please hotfix the Master Clue Scroll book today to let it be traded over to the Grand Exchange instead of in a week at the next update? It's being trade scammed.
We
at
can't
GE.
hotfix everything. If we could hotfix everything, there would never be updates because we just hotfix everything in. Unfortunately, this is one of those things we can't hotfix.
Configs.
Yeah,
So
because the GE needs to know about it, hence
Yeah.
it all has to be rebooted.
It will be done for next week, though? Is that what we're
It
saying?
will be done next
Absolutely.
week, but we can't hotfix things like that.
Okay. Sacred says, can we have Corp Beast damage comparison at the end of a kill? Currently, obviously, it says which player got the kill and how much damage they dealt. They'd also like comparisons to the second or third highest damage. See if you were 1 damage off of an Elysian.
Could it be compared to your damage? Would that be a simpler thing to do?
I don't know how that data's stored. If we're actually storing each individual's damage on it, then yeah, we could do that.
Yeah, I think it already is stored, so we could probably read it out above their head very quickly, or we could even put it in the chat on the kill.
Mod Rock saying yes, please.
I think it's doable.
Are you volunteering to do it?
Mod Rock found a unique thing inside of the Corp code the other day. We have a week impact.
Interesting.
We found out another weapon that actually works with the Corp that the players don't know about.
No.
Oh.
No, I'm just going to go with every single weapon.
Oh yeah, so that's exciting.
are they still unaware?
Yeah,
Ooh,
according to it, yeah.
sweet.
Yeah.
Sneaky. Moving on. Custom says, can we get buy
Harem
50
staff.
in shops? Harem staff at 25%. Can we get buy 50 in shops?
There was a reason why we didn't do that in the past. I'm trying to remember what it was.
What are the options right now? Because some of them do have buy 50, don't they? Or am I being silly?
We've
There's
got-
1,
we've
5,
the,
10.
Rates.
We've got the crates. It's possibly simply because it didn't feel oldscapey enough. Because
Yeah, it could be it.
But you can sell 50, can't you?
It may have been if you go too high, then it impacts the price that you're charging for it, and suddenly more money disappears and you know what to do
yeah,
with.
the haggle rate.
That
yeah.
might have been what
Probably
the
right.
reason was.
Yeah.
Well, if you make the mistake, you should pay.
No, I mean code-wise.
Oh, okay.
The haggle ling of the shop where it reduces the price.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
It might not be
Yeah.
able to calculate that much
Yeah.
in one go.
For me, it just feels too RuneScape 3.
I mean, you can sell 50 at a time.
Yeah,
Too easy scape.
Yeah.
Categories? Ish?
pretty much.
We've added
Kind of.
packs for some things on a case-by-case basis where we feel that that's needed.
Alright. Toucan says, can the Hellhound spawned by Valion despawn after a few minutes? Currently they stay around for 30 minutes if they are left alone by a player.
You can do it.
Yeah, it's just that time, isn't it? So, can you kill Vetion without killing those
Yeah, I think
Yes.
you can.
But if we make it despawn immediately, will people never kill them, but then they're not killing them anyway because they can kill veteran without killing
Yeah,
those?
there's no reason why we can't do it.
What determines being left alone by a player? Is that a player being at least X tiles away, teleporting,
No.
logging out?
We know when the NPC has stopped attacking for a certain amount of time. We'd remove it at that point, and we'd probably regen its health back to full as well, and almost start the fight from scratch.
Yeah,
Okay.
you could keep track of how long between attacks.
Yeah.
Getting very eager for a hint. When do you want to do this?
What time's it now? 5:50.
10 to?
10 to, yeah.
So we've got 10 minutes. So say about 11 minutes when we're finished.
Next Q&A stream?
I don't have 2 weeks after this week, so maybe we ought to
How
leave it
about
until
early
Runefest?
August?
Runefest. Early August or Runefest.
You're really out of camera shot.
2020. Am I?
Right.
Oh,
Don't
sorry, I was
shuffle
going. Yeah. Or 2020. Yeah. Runefest 2020, or maybe in sort of 5 minutes.
Okay, 5 minutes.
Yeah,
Either
5
or.
minutes.
Cool.
Okay. 5 minutes. Tell your friends. How many viewers we got?
Once we hit X viewers,
About
Matt will
8,000.
tell you.
8,000. If we get 10,000 viewers, I'll tell you.
Load up the vlogs.
Tell your friends.
All right.
Socks.
Thank you. Yeah, little smiley
Where
faces
are we
on
going
there.
to here?
I went for spots.
Oh,
I've
nice
got,
one.
I've
Should see a
got
doctor about
unpulled.
this.
Next
Sorry,
question.
carry on. Yeah.
Cohen says, can we get from the Mauritania Elite the ability that we don't need a ghost speak or Mauritania legs to talk to ghosts, just like the Seal of Passage from the Fremi Diaries?
So you learn how to speak like a ghost.
That,
Yeah,
I got confused
I
with
like
that.
those.
Yeah.
I like that. I think the Ghost Speak Hammer is wonderful for when you're first doing it, but
Yeah.
you know, after your 16th quest where you're gonna need to one Ghost Speak Hammer, it's a bit frustrating.
I like it
so.
because it's inconsistent. No. I would like it changed because it's inconsistent. Like the fact that the Fremenic reward allows you to speak without the item, but then you need to wear the Mauritania legs. It's just silly to me. I'd like to unlock it.
What about the Monkey Speak amulet? That one obviously you have to bring if you want to speak to them, right? You
No,
can't
like
memorize.
complete Monkey Madness.
Yeah, Monkey Bandits
Do?
2 changed that, which brings us
Oh.
on top of chat saying they're saying do it as a quest reward instead.
Yeah, I mean, it makes sense. When I did the improvement project in RS3 for Achievement Diaries, I sort of made sure that anything that was involving an NPC, he already knew that you'd completed the diary, and hence you got the reward anyway, wearing it or not. Which would probably do the same.
Makes sense.
Okay. Autumn Elegy says, please delete random camera movement.
Okay.
What random camera movement?
The camera.
I think the one...
I'm assuming he's on about where it moves ever so slightly and then stops lining up with a compass. That is engine, but
Yeah.
That is indeed engine.
Was that originally into fight bots, wasn't
Yes,
it?
it was
So,
actually
yeah.
quite successful, but for a very short period of time.
Yeah, probably isn't there. Yeah.
I assume it stops the simpler bots from existing now, though.
Mm.
Yeah, we have to run up past Weath and his group.
Maybe fixing it will mess up the bots even further now because they're obviously prepared for it.
They're very angry.
We'll switch it every week.
You know, Aubrey changes the colour of his clothing like every 5 minutes.
Who?
Aubrey,
Okay.
Didn't know that.
similarly. Fun fact. Oh no, he doesn't. No, he
you
doesn't.
just lied.
He used to. He
How could
used
you
to.
do that?
But it's a cool little thing.
All right.
I've written that code.
Hexetra says, can enchanting bolts be done in sets of 5 and 10? As it stands now, it's quite click intensive.
I so want to redo that entire interface.
Okay, making a note.
I don't know whether we do it in sets, but the interface and the user flow needs to be improved. Obviously, I can't at the moment because Fossil Island, but yeah.
Those who have noticed, this is the first week on the iPad I'm taking notes, or at least marking down these questions. Previously, it was much easier with the pen and paper. I would just make a little tick mark, but it's gotten more difficult to kind of follow up with things. So essentially, we're taking a step back and realizing how can we improve these Q&A streams. We have a few really exciting ideas that I think you will be fond of, which we'll pitch to you very shortly. But in the meantime, we're eager to hear your ideas on what kind of makes these Q&As for you. Is it the sneak peeks? Is it the kind of suggestions maybe with the images? Like, what do you guys like the most? Let us know, and if you have any suggestions to make
We
things
should
better.
get a survey monkey survey out to the players.
Yeah,
That's the best thing to do.
I think, yeah, going forward, I might either just follow up with this and take notes or ask the person grabbing questions.
Oi!
What?
He's attacking the squirrel.
He's- anyways, next question. Groot says, currently points from potions and raids are team-based. Could we make them individual caps so Iron Men have a fair chance?
Probably.
It's doable. It's just
This is again, if we can do it, but do they want it?
yeah. Exactly.
Okay. You know what? I have 1, 2, 3 questions left, Matt.
Okay.
Okay.
Here we go.
So we'll poll it if they want to crack the clue hint next.
Been
to
waiting
three
over a
questions.
year.
Big Sage says, okay, yeah, at least 99% on that.
So I straw poll that.
Yeah, sure.
Are we at
Yeah.
10K
Should we
page
do
yet?
the crack the clue hint today? At least 99%, otherwise we're not.
Did we get those 10,000 viewers yet? Or are we...
Okay.
Oh.
Realistically, let's get through these questions, guys. So Big Sage says, can we please get the ability to combine crystal bows? So if you have a 3 charge and a 5 charge, makes an 8. Math.
Seems sensible.
Yeah.
Yeah, we can do that.
Really?
Seems sensible.
Okay.
I mean, I'd rather just make it work so that it's not 10 different items. So it'd just be,
Yeah.
it would just know it has a certain amount of charges. We can do that with object variables.
Why are people saying no?
Oh,
Why are you saying
Don't
no?
like nice things.
I'm making note regardless. We might offer it to you. Alchemist says, can the twisted bow fire glowing arrows similar to the crystal bow, preferably matching the arrow type?
Yeah, I like that.
isn't it already cool enough hitting like an 80?
Nice. Yeah, but it should
Glowing
glow.
arrows.
If the artist says yes, it is doable.
Yeah.
Last question on my list
Going
today.
back to the twisted bow, people always ask me why you can't see the green string on the bow, but you can't see the string when equipped, obviously. But you can't see the string on any bows when equipped. So stop asking me that question.
Oh.
Savage.
Well, looks like we're
Crack
not
the
getting
clue
a hint
hint is
today.
only 70%. Unlucky.
I didn't even pass
It
the
didn't even-
75%.
Our last
Troll.
question of today's stream, guys. Minister says, can you rearrange the order of the teleports in the new book so it is alphabetical?
We can do it, but Mod Tom H finished it off, like, I want to say 2 days ago, a day ago maybe at most, and that interface editor is really finicky. You'd have to reposition all the things over and over again, and we rather had it pushed out.
You just said he could. In the
Yeah, it's doable. I'm not saying it's not doable, it's just the reason why it went out not alphabetical. In the future we can do it, yes.
I don't see how making it alphabetical is going to change much, though.
I think
He has to move the...
No, I mean, like, for them, why it's so
Oh.
important.
it's been out today. You'll get used to it. I mean, is that,
Well,
is that too
well,
mean
only
to
if
say?
they-
It's
You'll
part,
get used
it's
to
part
it.
of the authentic old school experience where things don't quite work perfectly all the time. There you go.
Okay.
I'm afraid they only got 70%.
Well, no clue.
But
I
like next time.
suppose we ought to give it to them anyway. It's,
Yeah.
the 12-month anniversary was a few days ago, so we probably want to keep it that.
Hold it.
Drum roll.
Actually,
I have a question for you.
go on.
With this hint
Yeah.
you're about to reveal,
Yeah.
do you think somebody will end up solving it? And if so, when?
I would like to see it solved by the end of today.
This is a strong hint.
That's a
I
good
think-
hint.
I think if the right person approaches it in the right way, with this extra information that you'll find out in a minute, somebody could solve it very quickly. So I'm hoping that there are people ready and waiting. I know the people at the
Banging this on.
/r crack the clue Reddit. They are waiting for this. So hopefully they're already
On the
ready
edge
to go
of
to it as well.
Yeah.
Secretly, I hope that no one's going to solve it for the next 12 months, and we'll do the same thing again. But I think if somebody approaches it in the right way, then I think they can solve it.
If someone
Now-
overlays the clock tower on the...
Yeah,
You know what? We could take some more questions from the chat.
Now, the thing about this is that every part of the clue has been solved. So you've got all the answers already. What you're not doing is combining them in the right way. So what I'm going to tell you, there's a big So the clue I'm going to give you is, in order to solve it, you need to get 3 specific items and dig in a specific location, and then you will solve it.
Oh, that's it! They've got it. Sorry, this is going to be done by the hour. We're going to be at the local pub. We're going to be on
Quick,
Reddit.
delete the vodcast.
This is it. You know,
This is a part where after you've told them that,
Yeah.
they're still going to super overcomplicate things and
Yeah.
somehow come to some weird conclusion that
I
you
want
overlay
Wooks
the
to go
clock
live
onto
right
the altar
Yeah.
and that points to the...
it's
But
like
if
they've
you're,
been complicating it for so long.
Yeah, you could try and brute force it if you like, but considering how many items we've got, several thousand of them,
A lot.
getting the right combination of 3 is not going to work. is it?
Matt, does the spade
Can
count?
we, Ronan? Can we look
You
on
can't dig
the
without a spade, can
directory
you?
and see if
Yeah.
anybody's
Does it count as
trying
one
to
of the
solve it on
3?
stream and
I'm
host
telling
it?
you. What else
Go
was I
live,
going to say? Yeah, so Crack the Clue on Reddit, the Crack the Clue Reddit. Go talk with them if you want to find out what everything they've been thinking about and all the progress they've all made. It's going to be good.
What are we going to do if and when somebody solves it?
If somebody solves it, well, it's up to them, really. I mean, what we'll do is we will change the examine info into the Helm of Raidwold was discovered by X player at X time on X day.
Cool.
So they will be immortalised in game as the description for that. Then it's up to them if they want to tell people where it is.
Do you foresee yourself offering something similar in the future?
To be honest with you, no one expected this to be quite as interested as people have it's been. We put it out as the dream was that in 12 months' time we'll still be talking about it and it'll be a great little story.
No, that was your dream.
That was my dream.
Only your dream.
Yeah, that was my dream, and it's come true. So 12 months later, we're talking about it, and it has created conversation for 12 months.
When
Oh
you said
no,
12
he's here.
So yeah, we'll find out.
When you said 12 months, I was.
How could you reveal it?
How have you revealed the
I was
answer?
sat in my car listening. And I was like, I need to reach the office and stop you.
You wanna
Right, Kieran.
come? You wanna shuffle in?
Come sit down.
There's not really much room, is there?
Just shuffle. There we go.
I'm joined by
Kieran.
random Kieran.
Yeah.
Kieran, before we end, somebody asked a question for you. Drop
I heard
rates.
Matt give me some crap over that. So
There you go.
Drop
Gonna
rates for
fine me or
raids.
something.
What have we missed? It was the ancient relic thing and the.
Ancient Relic.
Drop
Ancient
rate.
Relic's 1 in 10 on the normal league table. of
Ooh.
raids.
Okay. What was the second thing? I'm trying to find this
The
question.
Relic is the one that knocks the teleport back.
Sorry,
Yeah.
dark relic and ancient tablet. My bad.
Oh.
That's what he said.
Dark Relic's the XP thing. An Ancient Tablet is 1 in 10. The Relic, which gives the XP, that is the same chance as every other normal loot. I believe.
Okay.
I said I think
Solid.
it's only fair that you give it out. I didn't say I was going to fire you or anything.
Is
I
anybody
think, how did you get that?
I mustn't listen properly.
is anybody live solving the clue right now? Wooks is live. All right. In that case, guys, thanks for watching.
Yeah.
Join us next Q&A, and we'll see if Wooks gets it.
Yeah.
Thanks for watching, guys. See you next week.
Bye.